And we are live.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hi, guys.
Oh, I need to mute you on stream.
Hi, Bub.
I need people on my side here. Austin and Sniper are arguing that, well, not arguing. They're contending that if you listen to "Time" by Pink Floyd quietly, like half listening to it, they think it sounds like Dave Grohl.
No.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not insane.
No, you.
I'm just defending that it could sound like Dave Grohl if you're not paying attention.
Everything could sound like Dave Grohl if you're not paying attention.
I'm sorry, Aqua cannot sound like Dave Grohl.
You're wrong. You've not heard all of Dave Grohl's songs.
Who's
Dave Grohl? Dave Grohl's the lead singer of the Foo Fighters and the drummer from Nirvana.
I need that as a scientific theory. Everything can sound like Dave Grohl.
Seriously, listen to all of his discography and you will know he can do any style he wants to. It does not matter.
Yeah, it's capable. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse me. Right now, I'm just kind of like in the background of my mind listening to the Bee Gees.
Hey, Dave Grohl can do it. In fact, I bet.
I'm sure he's covered. Staying
Yeah, I was
Alive.
going to say, I bet we could find a cover of him doing "Staying Alive" with no problem. So
you should hear his covers of Adele. It's pretty astounding.
Holy shit.
I can't tell if you're joking or not, but I bet it would be astounding.
No, I was joking.
I just love the way he said it. You know, you should listen to his covers of Adele. It's pretty astounding.
I mean, what more can you
It touched
expect?
me deep inside,
It
like a priest,
deep inside of me, like really deep inside.
like 5 fingers.
5-finger death punch right up there.
Hey, Dick Nuts McGee too. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate
The
that.
second.
Yeah.
Noble.
Pretty sure you followed me like 2 days ago.
No, that was Dick Nuts McGee one.
Yeah.
That was his father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please call him McGee.
Weird.
Oh, this is a really long chapter. Oh god.
Luckily, you don't have to read it because you're playing D&D.
No, I know. But like, oh god. Tomorrow's gonna be fun.
Twitch deleted my account.
Oh god.
You don't
I
say.
can't imagine why.
You may want to consider picking a different name. Like
Richard Nuts McGee.
Nick Dutz McGee.
Like Schlong Almonds. There you go. Schlomans. Dolman Nuts McGee. Oh, man.
Sausage Walnuts.
No. No. We're going to not do that. Yep. Frostbites, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. All right, so. Hey, how many of you
We're
guys
gonna
watched
not
that?
do what?
Did you guys watch everything that was played before stream?
Are you talking about the demo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched you break the game. That was about it.
You tuned in just so I could break the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I tuned in, and then all of a sudden you broke the game. The camera wouldn't move, and you
Yep.
couldn't change bugs. So I was like, well.
I will admit, it was kind of
everyone's
cool
talking
demo.
so great about it. It looks like a good game, but so far I've watched Bub break the game, and that's about it.
Fair enough.
The graphics remind me of like a slower, I say slower, a less movement-based Warframe, and not space-like.
It's science fiction. It's cosmic horror. So it mostly reminded me of, I guess a slightly advanced version of Dead Space, like a more technologically advanced version of Dead Space.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of using guns, you had like you could energize an axe. Yeah, it's melee Dead Space. But it flows like the tumbling and the switching of the items. It felt a lot like Dark Souls. So it's like it's Dead Space meets Dark Souls, or at least that's what it feels like to me. And I got a couple of codes that I'll probably end up giving away a little bit later. And it was really, really enjoyable. I think a couple of you guys would probably get down on that. It's Dark Space, right?
It's Souls.
Souls.
Did you not get to see that, Will? Did you not get to watch it played?
I didn't watch it.
It's
No, I didn't watch it.
It feels very much like Dark Souls, and I don't see that about a bunch of games because I don't think a lot of games are like Dark Souls. It's a very specific genre. I would say that what is the samurai version that came out?
Neo?
Yeah, I would say that feels like a Souls game. But
Bloodborne?
I need to.
Well, seeing as Bloodborne was made by the same team that made Dark Souls.
Also takes place in the same universe.
Breath, yeah, go ahead, man. Send it over to me on Discord if you are familiar with it. Unfamiliar, even. There, never mind. If you're available, shoot it over to me on Discord. That's the best way to reach me. I'll happily get back with you. Welcome back, Jen. Hopefully the firing went well and easy enough. You had to leave to go fire someone from their job. Responsibility, man. That's
Tell them to get their shit and get out.
Out of a cannon?
The joys of being the boss.
pretty sure there was a singer that took that title.
The joys of being a boss?
Maybe it was just Tony Danza. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Only closer.
Oh wait, are you talking about the title The Boss?
That
In
name.
which case you're talking about Bruce Springsteen.
Stephen Adkins. Thank you so much for the follow, boss. I appreciate that. Christy is giving 4,000 rep. I bet she's giving someone a potion. Yeah. I bet it's Thelsa.
Safe bet.
Because Thelsa wasn't here last week.
Yeah, apparently she keeps throwing them at me when I'm not here.
And he
Oh, yeah,
knows what
by
it's
the
for.
way.
Oh, God. The winky face.
Oh god,
Oh,
work
God.
phone. Everything just happened.
Server's down. We need you now.
Oh,
Thank God I'm not on call this week.
Will, we need you.
They can fuck off. Next week.
All
Next
right,
week
guys.
we'll cut up in the middle of the night. Not this week.
Let's go ahead and talk about what happened last time. What happened in the game?
We ended up getting the poison out Jacob's body, but at the cost of his leg. It obviously didn't sit too well with him, and it essentially drew a lot of emotions out of him, having to deal with the realization that he might not be able to be an adventurer or even just live the life that he wanted to anymore. So he essentially lashed out at Sunn and Ulhime, wanting them to leave him alone, and because of that, Ulhime ended up walking out, trying to seek some vengeance on some baddies. We also now can't have familiars in our local inn due to the
Yeah, due to the workings of a certain sorcerer asshole.
the red harlot.
The Scarlet Harlot.
Yeah.
Sorcerer asshole who can't work a plunger.
So
Correct.
that's a no on the pets in the tavern. We also found out that the Seeker also made his return. He found Klaus, I believe, correct? Yeah, it was you. He walked up to you in the tavern.
Who are we talking about? Sorry.
The Seeker.
The Seeker. He came up to you. He was like muttering some words, and the words that
seer
he
from
kept
Occipitus.
uttering. Yes. He kept uttering Tercival, Rondler, Spellmason, Skellring, and Redo.
Leading. But yes.
Lead, sorry, I put R.
And then the combination of those leads to the door opening and hell rises like lava from the pits. So, everyday stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rock
we hear
falls,
every
everybody
time we-
dies, roll new characters.
It's not every day.
I mean, for us, I'm pretty close to it. At this point, our assumption is that it's the door that he was imprisoned near, and to our understanding, the first spark is held behind that door. So we'll see how that all goes.
Did you relay that information?
I don't know if I did, honestly.
You didn't. At the
No,
time.
he never told anyone about the
But I
beast that
don't,
lies
I
behind
don't know
the
if this
door.
was relayed at any given point when I wasn't here. Just I know
No.
that you had held it secret at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Pretty sure I'm still holding on to that information.
this is true.
So wonder.
Oh, I have no arms. No functioning arms.
That's
Oh
important.
yeah, that's right. He didn't lose one arm. He has no arms. I forgot to.
How did
I
you
fought,
lose your other arm?
Remember when he?
I fought a priest of. I tried fighting a priest of Ejos and almost died. Because I was.
remember-
Oh, no.
remember
You
the-
still have your other arm.
Yeah, I
It's
said
with
they,
kind
I
of
said
like
I
a
don't have
baby
any
arm.
functioning. I don't have any functioning arms.
It's his tiny hand. Grabs.
But I ended up trying to fight him to no avail, almost at the cost of my life. And it was at that point I think Sunn ended up finding me.
Yeah, Sunn
and,
did find you.
He was talking to me about why am I still friends with Jakob after everything that I guess have done for him. After all the stuff I've done for him, he's surprised that I'm still trying to help him out. So as of right now, Ulhime is waiting on the steps of the Temple of Ejos to try to make amends for his stupidness.
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently I'm an asshole.
You are.
But those are your words.
Maybe if you didn't go around getting stabbed, we wouldn't be in this mess. You ever think about us?
Oh Lord, this is fine. This is gonna work out fine. Thelsa, you were gone last session,
I
and
was.
thank God, because things went from bad to worse.
It's a leveling
I
out
was-
towards the end.
I was cardboard during the whole thing, so it was all good, right?
Yeah, lucky
Mostly. You didn't. I mean, obviously, you didn't get the details, and no one's gonna be able to effectively catch you up. But yeah,
Sorry, there's also another detail.
Go ahead.
We were also told by the fucking paladin, who's part of
There
the
we
Order of the Dawnbringer, that Joanna would be getting in contact with us because he's going to talk to her about the evil that we have to fight. Because Sunn finally told Jakob that Nathatoran was in Cauldron, and now they have to face a greater evil. So it would be in our best benefit to combine forces rather than trying to fight each other.
not
There you go.
Yolana. Not Yolana.
That's-
Yolana was that's their deity. That's their patron
Okay,
saint.
so that's the deity. Okay,
Yes.
So
Their leader is also female. You didn't quite catch a name.
so just put deity.
Yep. Klaus came to an agreement to let the quote-unquote assassin free, only on the terms that he would be returning within a week's time to help them hunt down Nathatoran. So
Basically,
that's
bring an army or I'll hunt you down.
Yeah, more or less. Klaus didn't agree with pretty much anything that he said, but he realizes that an enemy of my enemy is my friend, or at least less of an immediate threat to myself and my own well-being. He no longer sees Jakob as a threat just because their identifier can no longer read him as a threat. It's like it's purified his blood. Not really sure what exactly that entails, but for the time being, Jakob is free and clear. Now, I wanted to bring something to all of your attention. I've been
That if
talking
we
about
use
it.
rope, that I could have Jakob as my arms, and I can be his legs.
No, that's
See, I still like the idea that we have a surgeon. We just take half of one of you and make a whole of you.
Actually, you know what I say? Screw all that. Let's go ahead and really shake the game up. Let's become Voltron.
I'm saying.
Can you just duct tape your torsos together and then
That's what I was thinking of.
Voltron Plus?
What
Like,
was
no,
your-
God.
not just me and not just me
We're
and
less-
Ulhime. No, everybody. Just
Everyone
sew
loses
us
a
all
limb?
together.
So we just combine into this one weird, like,
We're
complete
less
person?
like Voltron and more like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
but
accurate.
life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
You were so busy with whether or not you could, you never stopped and thought if you should.
Oh,
I love
God.
his performance in that movie.
And you see, chat, this is why we like playing together.
No, this is why chat says only. If
Because
Klaus
we're just
is
all
usually-
equally retarded.
That's gonna be like Ulhime's like when he returns to himself. That's how he's gonna start talking to me. He's like I'm a servant of Helm. He's a protector, and he has this gauntlet with this eye on it. And you know what people don't realize is that
I like your ASMR version of Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that one episode where Quagmire has that late night show.
I know what you're talking about.
Be careful what you wish for, evil, because I'm out there and I will smite you. I am known to carry the light with me, and that's what makes me strong. Yeah.
Show's over, guys. I quit.
Is that who you won?
But Bob, you just landed a game with Jeff Goldblum. Aren't you excited?
I fucking quit. I'm done.
So you're inhabiting the Tauren. Okay.
Jeff
You're
Ulhime.
rather large, and you're a demon, and that's evil. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take these weapons and we're gonna hit them against you until you
If I just had a way
come down to the
to
ground.
mute him.
I mean, you can just drag him over to the.
I mean, you kind of do have the ability.
I mean, I don't, because I didn't actually start Monday or the Wednesdanked lobby. I think that was Will. Yeah, it's Will.
Will, just
Yeah.
go ahead and give him admin privileges.
I got to be careful talking like that because I feel like I'm gonna get stuck in character and just talk like Ulhime like that out of nowhere. Ronald, you're an orc. Yeah, wasn't I do that? No.
Now, can you do an orc Jeff Goldblum? That's the real question.
Oh, as you can see,
It's just Sean Connery.
As you can
No, it says shaken, not stirred.
You can hear me grunt. Oh.
You can hear me grunt. Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. I'm an orc who loves his taffy.
Fucking stop it. Just shut up. Just quit it.
Christy, clip it.
God.
This is 157, right? The orc who loves his taffy. But yeah, we digressed a little bit. You were saying.
Shut the fuck up. Just shush. Shut up,
Holy
stupid
shit.
face. Just shut it up. Just. Oof. Okay, all right. So, what I was saying, lads,
Yes.
there are only, I've been saying this for a while, and now it's finally visualizing in front of me. There are only 6 available maps left.
Oh boy, give me a second to dry my tears.
Damn.
That's right. There are only 6 available maps left included in the book. Everything else is going to have to be made up by me.
Look at that.
So,
Oh.
137 sessions, and well, I guess we're getting close, boys. It's coming. It's coming quickly, actually.
Almost there, lads.
All right, allow us to derail for another 30 to 40 sessions.
Don't worry, guys. Come back in a year. We'll almost be done with this chapter.
Just think what would have happened if I hadn't released the fucking Doom Dragon.
Oh man.
Which Doom Dragon?
Ambarda, the one that's literally
You mean
named
Doom?
Doom.
Yeah.
How did you forget the dragon named Doom?
Well, no, we've released like 3 dragons. We have to know which one.
Not
is
true.
Dude,
The doomiest.
all
One
the
was Anathema,
dragons,
he's the deity.
all the dragons were like, "Oh, you mean my dad, Doom? Oh, damn.
I hate that guy.
I hate that guy."
Again?
They kind of opened up with that as their.
Wait, you killed my dad, dude? What the fuck?
Oh, I didn't
It's
kill
okay.
him.
We just
Fucking
keep
set
killing
him
his
free.
sons, and he's probably not,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's probably gonna come bite our asses pretty soon.
He's gonna be mad that we killed his kids, or he's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I owe you guys another favor."
Dude,
Oh,
those were
cool.
delinquents, anyways.
Yeah, like it's gonna be either. At this point, it'll be like, "Shit, I was gonna do that. Thanks."
To be fair,
Considering-
let's be honest. We do know Doom Dragon is going to have to show up at some time. We keep killing his kids, for God's sake.
I mean,
Yeah.
he did show up very briefly when I called in my
Favor,
favor.
yeah. Yeah,
kill
he
the
didn't say
Bandersnatch.
anything about it though.
I mean, he
was
pretty
cool with it.
he pretty much was just like, we're even now. See you later.
He was like, all right, cool. Peace, dude.
Have we seen Doom's human form? Because don't most dragons have a human form?
I mean,
Well, he
technically,
came out of
dragons can
didn't he?
assume mostly any form. That's
Yeah.
They're shapeshifters.
that's the wild thing about it. Is particularly in like Dragonlance in 3.5, dragons are capable of assuming almost any form. That's why you have dragonkin relations. In fact, in the future, you will come across the first time I've seen an amalgamation that is a half dragon mixed with something else that I was not anticipating.
I hope it's half ogre.
And
Is it a
Wait,
frost
wait, wait!
giant?
We've already ran into a half dragon creature in
Have we?
in the Temple of Blibdapul.
yes, you ran
Dragon
into that
fish.
one. You ran into dragon half babies that didn't
Yeah.
that weren't really capable of anything.
Right. Yeah, they were kind of
The ones that we
shitty.
murdered.
Well, you murdered. No, I
Well,
didn't.
no,
yeah. And
Jacob
then they got
murdered.
pissed.
J- yeah.
Not Jacob. Jared.
Jared.
Yeah, Jared murdered the shit out of his kids.
Yeah.
Can I play a half dragon, half horse? Is that a class I can play? Or a race, rather?
Take it easy, Alexander. Have a good one, man. Thanks for coming out.
I imagine no horse just with a dragon's head.
What the hell? What would that accomplish?
I don't know. I just want to splice, any creature.
All right, I got an idea. Let's get a four-legged creature and mix it with a four-legged creature. It
I
just,
mean-
It's almost like that one
Can I have?
that one Reddit post about the centaur and the horse breeding, and it just turns out to be a talking horse. Like it'll walk up on guards and cast spells and just be like, "Nobody's gonna believe you. The talking
Right.
horse did it."
If you don't like two quadrupeds, can I have a half dragon, half centipede then?
Dragon Bead.
that's
Centipede.
actually, I'm pretty sure that's a thing. That's a concept.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah,
How would
it's-
that even work?
It's just a dragon that's really
See,
long.
that's like the thing, man. Is like dragons. They have that what I was saying earlier. That MacGuffin magic where they can just pull off anything.
Yeah,
I
they can.
just-
make
In other
edges
words,
about anything.
dragons are basically Zeus.
So there was how I was imagining the horse and the dragon like just cut off at the neck and then normal dragon head. I imagined a centipede and then just dragon head sticking out from the top of it.
For me,
Luckily-
it was just you took a dragon and extended the torso and added a whole bunch of legs on it.
Luckily,
just like a
that's
little head.
not how evolution works. They don't just clip together like a fucking Mr. Potato Head. Thank
It's not like
God.
you turn on big heads and fucking
Well, what if they could?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I mean, if they can do anything, they can do it. They just choose not to.
I just don't think so, man. I don't think so. All right, Giggles, calm down. Okay.
I just like the idea. It sounds good.
Yeah,
Be a little
equals
centipede that has a
Bahir.
little
That's
fire
right.
shooter.
Look, yeah, guys, Google a Bahir or a Remoraz, and that's probably pretty close to what a centipede plus dragon would look like.
Ew. I don't want it. I don't like its eyes.
A dragon has more class than to turn on big head mode.
Yeah, I was picturing a Bahir when I was thinking of it.
Yeah.
Remoraz looks like a centipede version of Gyarados.
I was thinking of a horrific science experiment.
Red, we don't want to hear anything more out of you after hearing you describe what a demon's mouth looks like.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. I wonder if Christie's clipped that.
I don't remember that.
I do.
I'm also blanking.
Christy keeps that in her personal file.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is where he said that the demon's mouth looked like a bladed vagina.
That's
right.
right.
No, it's a toothed vagina.
Yeah, a tooth. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well,
That's gross.
And I was
Yeah,
like looking at
that
the
was
picture. I was
terrifying.
like, this is
No.
not like you. This is not. What are you watching, man? Like, what are you watching?
I mean, that's. I mean, it's a normal thing in both Geiger and Lovecraftian.
No.
So like,
I don't think.
It's also
I mean,
a movie.
Yeah, they're also
Well, yeah.
sex-obsessed fucking maniacs.
Nobody makes tentacle
Legitimately insane
monsters.
people.
I don't know about Lovecraft,
And
but
isn't
yeah,
sex
Geiger
obsessed.
Geiger was pretty much entirely sex obsessed.
Yeah. But
Everything.
like,
Just a little
that's why like when I saw that I was like, oh, it's that because that's the
Yeah,
kind of
but
stuff.
this module was not written by either of them.
No, of course it wasn't.
You're making your own argument weaker here. I hope you know that. Of course it wasn't. I just assumed it was.
I'm just saying, when I picture a demon,
I picture vaginas.
I picture female genitalia.
That's
With teeth.
horrific.
Read into that as you will.
Horrific. Absolutely. This is why women won't come play with you guys.
This is why,
Oh,
really?
I'm
This
fairly
is
sure-
the one reason.
Because
I'm fairly certain that the reasons why women won't. Whoa,
So
okay, I'm going to
many
stop
issues with
before
this
I
one.
can
Yeah.
continue with that phrasing. Yeah, that was going to be bad.
Hey,
We're gonna have a fucking field day with this. Leave it at that. Move on.
glad he look, he's learning, guys. He caught himself before he shoved his entire foot in his mouth.
He almost had to get another set of dentures.
That's right.
Fucking breaks his teeth every time.
You know what's next? After you grab your foot in your mouth, you put your head up your ass.
I'm imagining how that would look like contortionist wise.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Just
I'm
doesn't
just
work.
picture- I'm just
Imagine how
picturing a pretzel.
difficult. Imagine how difficult that would be to pull that out.
I imagine at some point in the process you just turn into a black hole because like you'd fold in on yourself one too many times. And
I get to see Will just like, good God, it's the Ouroboros. The snake swallowing its tail.
But he's swallowing them.
there is no beginning. There is no end.
Except the Ouroboros swallowed its tail, and his tail is swallowing him instead. So it's just a horrifying version
Yeah.
of Ouroboros.
I like disapproving Steven in the background there, just like, the fuck, man.
I'm just reading the chat, and I'm kind of like, damn, guys, that's cold.
The audacity of this caucasity.
What's up, Granddad? What's going on, man? Okay. All right. Let's pretend for a moment that we're going to jump into the game.
We're already in it. What are you talking about?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
We're all just sitting around a table right now talking. This is
this has actually been in character.
Red's character is dying.
Oh
I'm a
my
little afraid to
God.
open this. Oh.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. I'm feeling pretty good.
Fucking nibbler.
I'm feeling pretty good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What am I saying? What is this GIF?
Nibbler.
Oh, yeah. That looks about right. It's just gone in an instant. All right. So we've got like 70 people watching us. Let's not fuck that up much.
Not
Okay.
that much.
Ronald, since you are the most quiet right now, since you are the silent observer, I'm gonna start with you. Where did we leave off, and how would you like this to begin?
I just asked Sunn to pick up the Hellblade that we picked up from our precipitous to take it back because I wasn't going to be using. Obviously, I can't use it anymore. I was sitting on the steps of the temple waiting for the priest to show back up, so that way I could apologize to them for my essentially just like lashing out. So I mean, if that's where we can start, I guess it would probably be like a time lapse of if nothing's really happening, just waiting for them to come back.
Okay, so you're waiting on them to come back, and where are you staying? You're not going to stay on the church doorsteps, right?
I think that's exactly what he planned to do.
I thought that was the case,
Yeah,
but I wasn't sure if that was your final choice.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I was going to sit there and wait for them.
Okay. All right, sure. That sounds good. Then Sunn will have gone back to at least hang up his lantern and finding his way to the outside back end of the building to his quote-unquote room that he hasn't quite made yet, which is basically just the wooden slats of a cot that doesn't have a bedroll laid down in it. So Sunn's gone off his way. Klaus, we left with you hearing from the seer, and he spoke of Tercival, Spellmason, Skellering, Hronlert, Lidu. And what did he say exactly about those names?
Basically, I don't remember his exact phrasing because there were some words missing and he wasn't exactly speaking clearly. But he basically said, when those 5 are together, the door opens and hell rises like lava from the pits.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's pretty safe to assume that that's pretty correct. Okay. Jakob, you are inside of the wee apothecary, and I'm just remembering what you said now from last week. All right, we go back to the apothecary. Oh, it killed me. And Sunn, which is technically now Cort Burstock.
Hello, Sunn speaking.
Cort, where did you go?
I was with Will.
Okay, so Cort and Klaus are together. Klaus, you were spoken to by the seer, and that's where we ended the session.
Yep.
Ulhime went to sleep on the steps. Jakob sulked himself to sleep inside of the apothecary. And Thelsa has been left for where exactly? Where did you guys leave her cardboard?
Yes.
She technically would be at either at the tavern or she was at the church.
I'm assuming I would have carried the cardboard with me.
Oh, it's probably worth mentioning. I also saw one of the door gang people on my way to the tavern. We didn't recap them. There's a group of people in town that are looking rather suspect, and they carry doors on their backs. They walk around. They're spooky. Hey man, they make people close their doors when they walk by. That's spoopy.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and open up the scene there. Let's go ahead and get the proper amount of sounds and merriment. So, I'm going to set the scene. You guys start prepping for whatever it is that you may or may not say. It's a low crowd, so we're going to go quiet. Just light at best, and we'll keep this here. Okay. It's quiet on the eve. Griffin's son remains in the rear end of the tankard. He is still unconscious. The matter of Ulhime discovering the diamond dust is quickly coming to approach. You realize that a lot is happening inside of the town up to this point. Things are kind of popping off really quickly. It's not one of those things where you wait a month and then, oh, something of auspiciousness is here. So let's pay attention to it. Things are quite literally happening nightly inside of the town, which is raising awareness from both the guard and the general public. A lot of the population of the town has left and are leaving. The last you heard, it was at least 30% of the population have left. Now, some of you are aware that some people are returning. Some better than others. Can anyone name one of the 2 people that have returned to Shackled City, to Cauldron?
Mavu.
Yeah, that's right. Mavu is here. Mavu's returned. Why? Not sure yet. But at least some of you have seen him. Who's the other person that's shown back up?
Outside of Mavu, let me check.
It's a big plot point. It's very obvious. Nope. No, this is like borderline cover art, gentlemen.
Nab the Torin?
There you go. Yep. Nappy Nab. He's in town.
I didn't know he was in town before.
Daddy Nabby.
He's.
Oh, no. Mm.
It's got potential to think that that's the case. Either way, things are happening very quickly. Klaus the Seers burst in, rocking, speaking of these names, Tercival Spellmason Skellering, Lidu Hranlert. Tercival Spellmason Skellering, Lidu Hranlert. And then when you stop him, he says something about basically the equivalent of end times. And you're left with that.
Has he wandered away at this point?
Yeah, I mean, unless you stop him, he has wandered off to continue his mindless ramblings.
I'm just gonna kind of keep that one in my back pocket for now.
Cort's, I have a voice. Cort, I'm assuming being close enough to Klaus would have heard that.
Assumedly,
Or did he?
I mean,
Yeah. Or
it's
did
not
he
like-
speak it to Klaus?
it wasn't particularly that it was like muffled, but it was a hushed tone. So you would have had to really be paying attention to get all of that.
If anything, Cort would have probably have seen someone just talking to you, and then walk away. At which point he'd ask, "Who is that guy? He looks kind of weird." And he'd be leaning over you.
He's had some issues. We saved him from a very evil place. He's really not quite right,
Huh.
but he's just given me some information that I think could be huge.
Oh, that's good.
Potentially, I don't know yet. For all I know, he's just mad.
Do you know what we're supposed to do next if we're looking for this Namthatoran dude?
We really don't do much looking. He'll find us if he wants to.
Huh.
He, I imagine, is not too fond of us at the moment, and things are going to go badly when he does find us. But we'll just have to deal with that when it happens. I don't know that we should be looking for him right now.
Is there anywhere we should stay for the night then? Should I go try to get a room, or should we go to the out of character? You mentioned the bathhouse, right?
You were in the room when it was brought up,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Then yeah, should I get a room, or should I bring my stuff to the bathhouse, or?
Given recent events here at the tavern, we should likely at least scope out the bathhouse for the night. If you'll give me a little while here, I need to speak with Griffin and his son. There are some things we still need to do for them before we depart, and I wouldn't feel right leaving without saying something first.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go get a drink then. See if I can get that weird bartender. And he's gonna kind of step up and then try to go talk to Elliot again.
Good luck with that.
Okay, Cort. You move over to the bar side. You see the boy is attempting to pull a bit of wine or some kind of ale from under what looks to be under the shelf top itself. He leans down and he takes a swig, and it's like he's trying to like rinse out his mouth or dry out something. You're not really sure what the situation is.
Cort I'm assuming he's doing it behind the bar, you said? Kinda? Or was it like off to the side?
It's not really extremely visible unless you were looking for him. Specifically in your case, you were looking for him.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of see what he's doing. Should you be drinking, sir?
I was gathering horn to clean. Is there something that you need? I can get my father, or obviously he's a little embarrassed by the fact that you've caught him. You see his face is a little flush.
Could you get me a drink? I remember I asked you for water and you said no, but is there any way I could get one now?
I'm sorry. Yes, of course I can. I'll bring. Did you need me to fill something, or do you have?
I don't have one. Actually, this is my first time coming here. But can I just get some water, please?
Yes, of course you can. He kind of leans in exasperatedly, and he begins to grab what looks to be the cleanest deer horn available, and he gets you he dumps it into a well of sorts. It's got something behind the counter you can't really see, but it looks sort of like a barrel. And he'll dip this accordingly, and it'll come up and slosh up on the table. cleanest water in Cauldron.
Thank you. And he's gonna take it and turn around, and as he's turned, by the way, I'm not gonna tell anyone. And he's just gonna kind of continue back to the table.
Do you glance back at him?
I'm just gonna.
Okay, all right. He give me a perception check.
Sure. Oh wait, that's right. It's on the actual character sheet now, not my map. Oh boy, it's just so. There it is.
Sure. As you're kind of walking away from the countertop, you can hear this exasperated sigh of relief, like. You can tell that he's not exactly afraid of the fact that you are going to say something, especially in, given the circumstances of the events that have been happening. But he's a lot less concerned as of right now.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go back to my table and sit down with Klaus.
Okay. And what?
I'm just gonna drink. I don't know if Will was gonna do anything because he said he wanted to talk to Griffin.
Okay, Klaus, you see him approach back to the table after a moment. He returns with what looks to be some kind of deer stout. It's like a light ivory, and he seems to be drinking from it. Thelsa, I would like to push this in your wheelhouse since you were gone.
Yeah.
So we'll say that you relight, you poof back out from your cardboard. You find yourself in the Tip Tankard. It's a pretty popular tavern, and you are no more than 5 to 10 feet away from Cort and from Klaus. It looks like you are hung up with the rest of some of the basic gear. Near the front, it's the equivalent of a coat rack.
I like to think that's just where we hang our cardboard cutouts.
I'm just gonna kind of rub my eyes for a second and take note of my surrounding because I don't fully understand how I got here, but I think I have some kind of like I don't have a short-term memory of what happened, but it relayed into my long-term, and I'm real confused.
Okay, all right.
I don't really know what just happened, but I'm here now, so it's time for me to drink because I need to talk a couple of things over, like what just happened.
Sure. All right, then you find yourself sitting nearest, or at least near Sunn and Klaus, whom apparently has just disappeared, both of them. That's maybe did this
I'm here, I promise.
Okay.
Yes, so am I.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh.
I want to talk to them. They're gone.
I sit down and they both poof away, and I'm like, well, now what?
Some divinity level nonsense. Like, god damn it.
I'm just gonna rest my head on the table after they disappear. And no. Return to Cort. It's like, what exactly happened while I was I don't really know.
Well, I'm part of the group, and you're gonna kind of see him like awkwardly smile.
Great.
And the guy who stabbed your friend said that he's gonna help us get his dad. Nab the
Torn.
that guy.
Yes, I've heard a couple stories.
Um,
Was it confirmed to be his father?
I
Do we
think
know for sure?
He told me he was his father. I don't know if he'd lie.
I don't know why.
Do you think he
don't see
would?
any reason to. Probably not. I don't think anyone would want to accept him for no reason.
By the way, I haven't caught your name yet.
I'm Thelsa, by the way.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. And he's gonna kind of do a little bow.
You as well. I'm sort of a caster in the group, and I tend to be a little bit less talkative than the rest.
Oh, well, my name's Cort, and I have this. He's gonna kind of point to the sword on his back.
I see.
I hit things with this.
Yeah, I would presume. Yes.
And he's gonna kind of look at Klaus. So, should I start moving my things over? I have water. Can I leave with this?
I would advise against it. They typically don't like their tavern or their tankards leaving here.
Oh. And he's just gonna kind of look down at it.
Don't worry about your things yet. We'll get them moved as we need to. If you'll excuse me for a minute, Thelsa, it's good to see you back. I need to go speak with Griffin.
Thanks, I guess. Klaus, is there anything we need to take immediate action in?
Steal yourself. Nap the Torrens in town, and he's not happy with us, to say the least.
Well, I'd be interested in going to check out the bathhouse to have some kind of place of armament. I might head there now while you go and have a chat.
By all means, if you and Cort would like to venture that way, then I'll meet you there later on.
And take note to the other few. I don't know where they are now.
I'll keep an eye out for them.
Okay. I'm gonna get up and start headed for the door with my big bag of belongings, which is, everything I own.
Okay. Klaus. You specifically wanted to seek out Griffin.
Correct.
Griffin is maintaining the grill at this point. It's a pretty popular time in the evening. A lot of folks come out this way, particularly guards, to collect an evening meal. It comes out hot, comes out pretty quickly, and it's generally got more flavor than some of the other taverns. So, I mean, at least you can attest, after the amount of time that you spent here, over the types of meals that he serves. Morning's a little on the drier side. He serves up fruit, bread, dried meats. Evening, it's not really much in the way of lunch, but evenings seems to be a bit of a juicier, thicker slab of meat, be it lamb or steak, that kind of thing. Give me just a moment. Okay. You can hear the sizzle in the rear end of the kitchen as he seems to be searing some various amounts of meats, thick and marbled. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to you much.
Griffin, how are things going?
He looks up briefly to see you stepping into the back of the kitchen, and when he does, he kind of he waves you, and he basically tells you just a moment. Let's see if I can find that for affect. That might be a bit much. We'll find out. We're just going to turn it down low. Yeah, we're going to stoke that down real low. Come on. I believe in you. Okay. You find that he has made some kind of metal plate. It's like the equivalent of what looks to be some kind of open, almost breastplate that he's decided to cook various amounts of meat on. He's got very rudimentary tongs made of wood that he keeps basically slathering it over and over again. The breastplate itself comes to a deep well center, so you see all of this slew of juices kind of baking upward. You don't know how long this has been here, but he sees you and he's kind of waving, flipping it over again, trying to move around some of the juices inside of this breastplate. And when he sees you, he pulls the spit away from the top of it, and it drops the sizzle down. You can hear it kind of sizzle more so in the background. But he steps over, and you see that his apron has got some kickback, some grease kickback. And he sees you, kind of wipes his brow, and says, "Oh, good afternoon, Klaus. Is there something I can get in for you?"
No. Actually, hear about getting something for you, really. Well, first, I wanted to extend my sincere apologies for the fiasco that I heard went down in my room while I was away. But frankly, I don't know that there's anything I could have done to prevent it. Other than perhaps it's time we made residence elsewhere. And I don't want you to think that this is going to be hurting you. I don't intend to stop patronizing you as much as possible. It's just that our problems have grown a little bigger than this place can really handle.
He kind of looks confused. He looks, he says, patronizing is a term that I've heard before. I remember my wife saying that she would continue patronizing me until the day she died. I didn't know that it was such a literal term.
I just mean that the flow of coin from us, it won't be stopping anytime soon. I realize that that's not really much of a concern for you anymore. I know you're doing good business these days, but I wanted to assure you of that.
Well, if you'll not be staying, then well, seeing as how you were staying, I was going to ask you if you would help with a problem that we have here. It appears that there is some sort of local bogeyman that has appeared hiding under the beds. They're calling her the Scarlet Harlot, and I was hoping to hire you and yours and your lot to remove her from this place. We don't know if she's a ghost.
I've heard the tales. Yes. Don't worry about payment. It's really the least we could do. I'll make sure she never shows up here again.
Well, is there really nothing I can do for you?
I really can't think of anything, but if anything does come to mind, I'm sure I'll stop by. This won't be our last time here, obviously. We should make bed somewhere else, somewhere less dangerous to the public and to you and your family.
Aye, there's not too many places like that inside of Cauldron. So where you be staying?
We have a place. We have a spot set aside. The bathhouse, formerly.
The bathhouse?
Previously, yes. It's come into our hands.
Oh, well, that's a boon, then. A boon to you. I know you've had problem with fires before in the past.
That, yes, that's a bit of an understatement, but hopefully this will be a little bit more flame retardant.
I don't know what that means, but I hope so too.
That being said, feel free to stop by any time. I can't guarantee that we'll all be there, but I'm sure someone will be there to greet you. I don't know if you've met Dugobras, but he's taken up staying there as well.
Can't say I have.
He's a
big
little
name.
hard to miss.
Big
Big man.
But he sounds like he's got a bit of an appetite.
You could say that.
Good. When you get all settled in and you come back for drinks, I'll have Elliot round up some meal, something to take back.
Sounds a fair deal. Appreciate it.
Well, if you
speaking
could,
of your
if you
speaking of
could,
your boys,
before you go on, will you have some kind of proof that you've removed the Scarlet Harlot?
I'm certain I can come up with something.
All right. Well, I don't think we'll be losing much in the way of business. The guards seem to be shaken, but they don't tend to want to stay the night. However, it doesn't seem to have bothered much of Leslie and her girls. They seem to actually be a bit angry about it. They said that someone's operating under their own terms. And I told them it's not the case. It's probably some kind of boogeyman or a haunt. Something that's sticking around. But I think if anyone can handle it, it would be you, sir.
Well, I appreciate the confidence. I'll be sure to let you know when she's been dealt with.
Thank you, Mr. Klaus.
How is young Timothy doing?
Timothy, my boy, is still out. He's not moved, not a wink, nothing happened on him. There's no twitch, no kindle, no nothing. He stays warm, very warm. I would think that he'd be running a fever, but he doesn't sweat. He doesn't seem to stir or cry. I'm afraid that he's going to stay this way.
You need not be concerned with that. He will get better. I personally will make sure of it, and Ulhime and I will work together. And we do have some time left, but we'll still make it as quick as we can. There are a few materials we need to gather, but then things should be better from then on. He should be back to himself by the end of the week.
Okay. That's what I like to hear. I'd like to have him up and moving soon. And for anything else, I miss his hugs. He's a good boy.
That he is.
I must say, Elliot's, he's concerned. He's dealing with it in his own way. I seen him drinking, pulling stouts unfinished under a table. And as much as I don't approve, my wife told me that before she passed away, everyone's got a way of coping. Everyone handles things differently. And I'm watching him, making sure he's not taking it too far. But I know it can become a problem quickly. I don't think that I could be a role model to him. But I would like to think that in the time that you've been here, he's learned some things from you and yours. Can I ask you a favor, Mr. Klaus? One more.
Anything, of course.
One more. I believe this should be a bit more serious. You've reassured me several times that Jimothy's going to be fine. At this point, the boy's been magic touched and all struck from every different angle. I don't think he's going to be the same. Could you take him on as an apprentice? Teach him some ways of magic?
Well, to be honest, I really hadn't considered it, but I do believe I can at least manage that. He seems to be adept at most things he does. And he has a lot of knowledge for someone so young.
Aye, he's a book reading type. He gets himself into a lot of trouble. He's not very good at taking direction from me, and at least here in the tavern. I think he's one of them academic types, and I think he should stay with him. So here's not the place. I think he needs to be with the right people, and maybe the adventure's going to be for that. Maybe not. But I think if there was anyone that could do it, just like handle the Scarlet Arlet, it would be you, Mr. Klaus.
Well, when he's back up and at him, I'll make sure that he has a place to stay if he wants it, and a place of employment for certain. He can stay with us as long as he likes.
If you like, I can dole up some funds, and it will help you take care of him in the time.
It won't be necessary, really. You've done so much for us. It's really the least we could do. And plus, I mean, he's a good kid, like you said. He won't make trouble for us, at least not any more than we make for ourselves.
Bless you, Mr. Klaus. Bless you. By the Nine be watching over, I hope that they have all the stars and stones aligned for you.
For you as well.
He nods, and he sees that it looks almost as if like the breastplate seems to be dripping bits of marbleized sweets away from the meat. So he runs back and he quickly tries to readjust it, shifting the pan of the plate itself, and you can hear the slow sizzle begin to kick back up. Sure enough, over the fire. It doesn't take very long before he's back to grilling. Assuming that you'll be on your way then.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You exit the
Stage left.
the kitchen, and you see at this point that Thelsa and Cort are gone. They've left. They said that they were heading over to the bathhouse, Oryx, the old establishment. And I'll get to that in just a second. Ulhime.
Yo, yo.
It's still nightfall.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to pass this buck back to you. Describe your situation, if you would, please.
Everyone's dead. I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God. I hope that's not the case.
Everyone.
I've been practicing Muay Thai kicks for the past hour. I am now a master.
I don't think that's actually the case. That's horrifying, though.
Yeah. Now, as I'm sitting there on the steps with the few people that are passing by the streets, just kind of sitting on like the dark corner of the steps, Ulhime's just kind of looking out and thinking about everything that's kind of transpired thus far, how the first few years of him going into adventuring have been relatively slow, but not really what he's wanted to do. Like I said, going back to the whole thing of protecting those that he didn't feel were worthy because he felt he was protecting mercenaries. That's one of those lingering feelings that kind of keeps coming back. And being in Occipitus, it's he still has the feather, the cardinal that was killed, and
Yeah.
he kind of just thinks about it because he had it attached to the gauntlet, which is now gone. He kind of just pictures that thing hanging there, and it's one of those feelings where he kind of has to admit that he's been defeated. It's not one of those we can bounce back from this and make it right. Like
Exactly.
He's sitting there accepting that he's lost. He's lost a fight, or if not several fights, recently. But even then, it's kind of like he when he's looking down at the floor, kind of like spacing out, he kind of just puts his back to the wall and kind of smiles a bit.
You still have. You said you do have this this feather, correct?
No, it was destroyed with the gauntlet.
Gotcha.
Unless, yeah.
Well, I mean, you kept it in the
Well,
gauntlet.
I mean, No, because it was attached to a string to the gauntlet. He tied it.
I mean, if that was
Like he just essentially made like a wrist.
if that was
I
of
know, it
relative
was more like
importance,
a wrist wrap.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say it would be wrapped around. It would have been wrapped around your wrist.
Yeah.
Albeit
So
you lost that part of your arm. If they probably would have tucked it into your belongings.
Yeah. So I would say for this sake, it's on my
Sure,
amputated hand. We'll
Sure.
go for that.
go for it. Let's
He kind
assume
of looks
that.
back at it, and he kind of just he lifts it back up, and he sees essentially the evil that's within him, that's still growing. He kind of looks down a little bit, like struggles to. It's like he's like trying to look at his chin, but he's looking at the blackened veins, and he sees that those are growing.
The moment that you peer down to look at the extent of the wound or these various veins that are growing over the cross of your body, you you feel a flit of wind catch the feather from your hand. When you glance down, it's disappeared, and a new figure stands before you at the bottom of the steps.
Seeing that the feather goes, I'll kind of stand up to make sure like it's not lost, but facing the figure as well. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Are you? And before he says that, looking at the person, is it who am I looking at?
Give me a perception.
It's an 8.
Okay. Ulhime, you can't seem to notice any remarkable features about this particular character. However, what you do note and notice is that while the character stands there, they seem to borderline hover. Their body shifts slowly upward and then back down with some sort of upheaval of breath, almost as if they're kind of commanding the body while it floats.
Like their breathing is in rhythm with the bobbing that they're doing.
Yep.
Okay. Seeing that, he'll kind of look down, and then kind of taking a quick note of the ass whooping he just took, he'll look to the roped person, I'm assuming. Good evening. Can I help you?
A friendly, warm female voice emits from the darkened robes. Hello. You've fallen far from grace, warrior.
That would be an understatement, but I'm here right now to start a path of atonement, given everything that's happened. Would you care to join me? And he'll kind of like motion towards the steps to see if she wants to sit.
The cowled figure will turn, peering over at the spot that you've kind of patted to the stone, and you'll see just one solemn head bob. And with that, the figure begins to ascend the steps. There's never a break in the stride. There's never that mechanical pattern of a rise in the steps. It's just
like a elevation. Yeah.
An ascent like an escalator.
He'll wait for her to take a seat before he takes one.
Correct. She'll sit down nearest you. You feel this warmth. It's unnatural at first, but welcoming once it begins to sit in. With every exhale, a purr descends across their body. And it's much like hearing the the hum of a parent when you're a child. There's a certain comforting grace to it. You're aware that this person is more than they perpetuate themselves to be currently.
Yeah. My name is Ulhime Shieldbearer.
I know who you are. We've been watching for a while.
Who's we?
Well, my brothers and sisters, we've been watching from above. We've met before. Can you not remember?
Kind of just gives a shake. I don't mean to be rude or mean you any disrespect, but a lot has happened to me in a very short amount of time. And it's not that I don't want to remember you, just be more of a haze. Would you do me a kindness and remind me?
She says, it's not but a slight, and there's like a small giggle that she kind of releases. It's she kind of like leans into you like old chums, shoulder to shoulder. And when she hits you, this vision, this striking image flashes over you. It pales like it was crudely drawn on white vellum with a dark ink, and it shows a figure bursting through darkness. And this figure is emitted as a woman. Silvery nature, long flowing hair with wings. You glance around and there's a cave all around you. It's me, silly. It's Nidroma. I've been hiding.
Kind of like looks up like silly. It's I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so. I must look awful to you. And you kind of see him like trying to like shoulder his like orcish hair out of the way and stuff like that. Tries to sit up proper. I'm sorry about that.
No need to put on a facade. I can see that you're hurting.
I'll be okay. I just I had a lesson in life earlier, but that's beside the point. What would a deity like yourself be doing here?
I'm no deity. I'm just here to support. You were at your darkest times, and we guide those of direct lineage to deity. You're important. Your story has not come to an end, and you're at your darkest time. You should know, Ulhime, your story does not end here. It won't. These thoughts that have crept over you, they've made you vulnerable. As they should. You have a parasite living on you, draining you of your essence, stealing your virility, sapping your livelihood as you know it. I've come to tell you not to worry. Don't worry about your friends, your allies, your comrades. Don't worry of Jakob. Not of Klaus. They will be fine. You, on the other hand, well, your will be damned. You are meant to continue on. You pulled the feather of the Avoral. You were contemplating dark things. We could tell. It being that I was the closest to you, I was sent here. We've watched, been watching, continue to watch, and will continue to watch until this plays out. We have to.
What do you mean? What's gonna play out with me? I understand you have good intentions, but what plan do you have for me? I'm willing to help you in any way, but it can't involve leaving my friends.
No, and we're not asking you to. No. That would bring more harm. Jakob is important to this tale as well. Even if it seems that now that his importance has fallen. As has his mood, it's been sullied. He still reigns. He's still marked.
I had a feeling as much, that those who would pursue him would not stop. Can you help him? I do not have the power on my own.
I cannot help Jakob, not in the way that he needs help. He needs support. And that's nothing that I can provide. You, Ulhime, at your darkest time, continue to try. You've not given up. Over and over again, you remain stoic. What's made you so important? This is why Helm chose you. That will be
Chose
more.
me for what?
That will be more important later. That being said, you need some kind of boon, something to lift your spirits.
If anything, help my friend Jakob his leg. Can you at least return him to have the ability to walk again?
No, I cannot. That was duly deserved. I'm afraid, as hard as that is to swallow, Jakob must understand the fall before he can climb back to the top. Unfortunately, one must accept failure before they can appreciate success.
He's been through a lot, though. That's why I've stuck by him so long.
I understand that you have concerns for him, but I think you should watch out for yourself. Trust that Jakob will be fine, so long as you're still there. But do not throw yourself in front of the blade. Or do that. Just making a suggestion. In the meantime, I'm here to lift your spirits.
Your company has already done that.
She reaches down and she tries to grab it where your hand would be. And she realizes that your hand has been shrunken up, been coiled up. And she says, let's fix that. And you feel your arm beginning to stretch outwards, the muscles ripcording back the way that they should, the flesh extending yet again. You hear the snap and the cracking of various limbs, and then there's the pop of the elbow. You feel the several poppings of your phalanges, your fingers kind of pulling back again. And you have control over your arm.
Alrighty. Thank you.
This is no gift. This is just a minor reversal. There are more evil things at play in this bowl. To be honest, I don't know why Surbar stayed here in the first place. It's foreboding, don't you think?
It has its side of light, which is why I haven't given up on it. Which is why I understand that the darkness that lurks here needs to be pushed back.
Fortune favors none of those that turn a blind eye to the threat. You built a home in a volcano. This was not your smartest move. But Surbar was regarded as the leader. He's the leader of many men. And we have had to trust him.
Well, if you think about it, the mentality's no different than that of us dwarves. We build our homes in mountains all the time.
This would be the equivalent of a halfling building their home in the mouth of a giant.
I understand what you mean.
Just does not bode well. Enough of my personal feelings. I believe your mood to no longer be sullied. Sitting here will offer you no recompense. You've made this human mad. He's very angry.
That's why I need to apologize.
Time has a way of defeating that ever-present feeling. Let the wound heal. Apologize in due time. What you can do is return back to Jakob. You can talk with him. He's awake. He's unhappy. Sulking. Rightfully so. He lost a limb.
He's been through a lot.
He needs your brand of support. He needs your aid. I will only be a stone's fall away at any time. If you need me, let this hit cold soil. And she passes to you a small pebble. It's a colored stone. It's blue.
He'll take into his right hand. Thank you.
Well, I must be off. And as you blink, there is the sound of fleeting wings, like a dove, and she's gone. All that remains is a darkened robe.
He'll pick the robe up and just toss it over his shoulder.
Okay.
Guess I better get back to providing some help for Jakob. And he'll look around one more time just to make sure the feather is somewhere on the floor if it's not.
It's not. It's no longer there.
Okay. He'll start making his way back to Sunn's shop then.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, I'm going to pass this over to Thelsa and Cort.
The ball's in your court now.
Thelsa and Cort. Oh man. This is going to be fun.
You got a house now, but how's it looking?
Okay.
Does that reverse the hit point damage I took from it, or is it just the arm itself?
It's just the arm itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Would we have made it to the bathhouse, or this is before the bathhouse?
You guys tell me. Are you there? Are you at the doorstep? Are you talking? What does this look like?
Well, I'm assuming we wouldn't just quietly walk through the streets.
Okay.
Spooky music. Cort would probably try striking up conversation with Thelsa. So, how long have you been with these guys?
Not long, only a few days, but I mean, we've been to hell and back, so to speak, but also, you know.
How do you feel about what happened with that demon guy?
I'm still unsure. I almost think he deserves what he's been given, but I think that's because I don't know him well enough. I don't know whether he's innocent. I don't know whether he's kin of the demons, but I don't think it's worth slaughtering all of a kin just because one's mistakes. So I think I should stay out of it, and it's between the demon kin and the angel kin.
Do you think he's a bad guy?
He hasn't proven to be a bad guy to me. In fact, he was up for self-sacrifice until Klaus decided to sacrifice himself instead due to his regenerative properties. Which I thought would have made more sense rather than the demon who was supposedly the Dawnbringer. But, I mean, they made their decisions.
Cort's just gonna kind of scratch his head for a little bit while walking. Huh.
What's your opinion? Do you know well enough?
Well, I don't know any of them. I met the orc one about 5 minutes before it happened. And then he got stabbed, and then there were a whole bunch of guards. It was kind of terrifying. But not as terrifying as that whole church burning down thing.
It's a shame.
That was less okay.
Question for you. What do you think of the guards? Cauldron's guards don't really
They're nothing like
impress me.
they're nothing like where I'm from. They seem kind of lazy, but they don't seem bad. They seem like good guys. Like they came and tried to help put out the fire.
I think the human ones are good. However, the half-orcs seem to be just brutes paid to do something. I just don't like the way they do things. But that's just my opinion.
Do you know where there's any good food?
Back the way we came, the tip tankard has great food.
They have food?
Yeah, yes.
But isn't
yes.
a tankard a drink?
Yeah. Ooh.
And he's just gonna you're gonna see his eyes widen up a bit.
Yeah, it's the whole IQ thing is hitting Thelsa now. Like, oh, uh-oh. Yes, they do serve food there as well.
Oh. Huh.
In fact, they're likely the best funded tavern in most of Cauldron. If you would like to go back, you may.
Bub, how late is it?
Particularly hungry.
The time?
It's about nighttime, right?
It's pretty late.
Yeah, Cort's gonna kind of like look around and then look and go, no, it's too late. I'll get some tomorrow.
I don't
And then-
know what's at the bathhouse, but there might potentially be something there. I have never been.
Oh wait, and he's gonna kind of reach into his bag and pull out a trail ration. He's just gonna kind of eat that for a bit.
It's fucking like Dora the Explorer. It's killing me.
I'm gonna pull off my backpack, lay it in the road, and I'm gonna go, now sing!
Yeah. Cort's like,
Now sing!
yeah.
Back,
Look what I found. It's an
yeah.
hamburguesa. Can you say it? Hamburguesa. Hamburguesa.
Snacker, no snacking.
Good.
Hey,
You
at
have
least it's-
to say good after it, bub.
Yeah, good.
Like 3 seconds later.
Yeah.
At least I didn't ask where the apples were.
God damn it.
What color are the apples? Can you
Where-
say
where's-
rojo?
Rojo?
Good.
Close. Not Spanish though.
Not
Rojo.
not in my language.
Rojo.
They don't speak that language up here.
They don't. God damn it.
Actually, people often mistake the spelling for the red in French for rogue. They spell it rouge.
I don't know what
It's
you're
funny
talking
to
about.
me.
Who would ever make such a mistake?
I've seen you do it.
I don't know what you're talking about. That never happens. I've never in my entire life mistaken the two.
Right, okay.
It's fucking fired.
Be right back with us.
I almost said Sunn. Cort's gonna continue to just kind of eat. So, do you know anything about this Nap the Tauren guy?
I know that from what I'm told and from what I can recall, he's some sort of demon general. He's a bad guy. He must be some kind of strong, because from what I hear, he's taken on the flurry before and prevailed to some degree.
Are they strong? Because that guy's kind of old and weak. I mean, I know he can. He seems like he can do magic stuff, but is he that strong?
I couldn't tell you much. If he's strong enough to burn down an entire tavern, I can't say that he's not strong. And church, not tavern.
No, I'm talking about the skinny old dude. Is he that strong? Because the guards tried to fight the demon guy and they didn't last a second.
They tried to fight which old guy? Klaus?
No, when I got to the church, the guards tried to fight Nap the Tauren, and they were turned to ash.
Yeah.
And if you're saying that Klaus had fought them, if you're saying Klaus had fought them, is he really all that strong? He doesn't look like it.
He's much stronger than you think he is. He may look old, but he's young at heart.
Cort's willing to walk to the bathhouse in silence from then on, unless you have any pressing matters you'd like to.
Nope. I'm realizing that I'm losing IQ talking to you, so I'm gonna try and keep it quiet. Like pick up pace a little bit so that I could walk like 2 steps ahead, so he doesn't try and make conversation again.
And then I'm assuming we'd get to the bathhouse. Do you want to cut it off before we get in there, or?
I mean, if you guys feel like you've arrived, you tell me. Remember, this is as much your tale as it is mine. So if you feel like you've arrived, then make it happen. You show up. You show up to Oryx. What does it look like? It's been widely unused, so tell me what it looks like.
Didn't Jacob say that he like got it clean? Because it doesn't have the blood river in the bodies anymore. That was taken care of by the city.
Jacob didn't say shit about it.
No. So it's just dirty and musty inside. Would be my assumption.
I was actually more going with the name thing, but Jacob's not the captain of the guard.
Jared. Had Jared spruced
I wasn't
up
going to
a
say
bit.
anything. I was going to just let it pass, but way to
Look,
go.
I keep wanting to call myself Sunn, so I'm just in a wrong.
At some
ballpark.
point, it has to stop. We have to stop confusing the names.
We'll stop
Because we're gonna
when this
the
character
issue-
dies.
we're gonna have some fucking problems if we can't.
So were the repairs done that we said we were going to make happen the giant hole that was in the side of the building. They said we'd help pay for, but I don't know if anyone ever started doing that as far as the guards' behalf.
No, it was never assisted payment for.
So
All of
there's
those
still just a
things
giant hole.
that you guys were like, yeah, we'll take care of.
Never did get taken care of.
Basically just got brushed to the wayside. All that the guard maintained doing was removing the bodies. They didn't even clean up the blood.
Oh.
Well,
So this is going to be a nightmare house, basically.
Well, no. It's been some time. It's rained between now and then. In fact, the rain season occurred afterwards. Everything's
But did it get to this height?
No.
What makes you think that it blew the entire ceiling off?
Well, most of the death and dying happened outside.
Aside from that whole Auric being a vampire with his brother draining the help.
bringing people inside to
Well,
drink.
they
Dropping a
took
corpse
them
in the
all
middle of the room.
downstairs into the caverns, right?
This is one of those cute moments where he's really hopeful, but he knows the truth.
Well, why would they waste so much blood if they were drinking it all, right? They just had like Capri Sun box.
I would imagine somebody has since gone in as the cleaning crew and just left a bill.
Nope.
No,
Well,
you guys are gonna be charging me for that, ayo.
so that means that Cort and Thelsa walk up to the bathhouse and it looks dilapidated, and when you open the doors,
I mean,
it's
as-
a nightmare shack.
As dilapidated as the roof may actually look, but remember the building is primarily made of stone.
Yeah, the building itself is fine, but it hasn't been...
I just picture that it is now kind of a Greco-Roman bathhouse with a really sweet skylight.
vaulted ceiling.
It's now got a really sweet skylight and a really big front door.
It's got an enormous front door. I'm not sure where it has a ceiling. I'm trying to convey that without directly saying it, so I'm just going to spell it out. It's real simple. It's the fucking ceiling's still there.
Yeah.
It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So when the Clockwork Monster came out, it just blew through the front door.
Yes.
It didn't come out of the ceiling and then land
Yeah.
on
No.
the town.
That's what I'm... That's fine, but then on the inside, it's bloody, dusty, dirty, and not taken care of.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you've got to remember, like, this was left
Months
for
ago.
many months.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not decrepit in the sense of it looks like the building is being broken down, but it's decrepit as in no one's touched this thing in months.
Yeah, that's accurate.
As I'm standing outside looking at the front of the building, I'm just gonna kind of look around, trying to make sure this is the building, and hoping that there's a better looking bathhouse across the street.
Cort's gonna, when he looks inside, is this? Are we with the good guys?
It smells so bad in there. It smells like something died and then never got cleaned up.
Well, yeah, and he's gonna kind of like push the door, and is just gonna kind of point inside.
When you point inside, you can see that the place has been, at least at some point, used as a location for squatters. For people that didn't particularly have a place to stay. There are rudimentary bits of like hay bales that have been kind of strung about so people can lay down. You would see that there's probably some like unguents or various types of material to be used in the construction of like some basic drug of some sort. It's basically like a squatter home. Since nobody's been there to maintain it, it looks a little rough. The floor is in fact stained with blood. You can tell through various cracks in the stone. The carving was beautiful before, well,
the vampires.
No, the Clockwork Leviathan. The vampires didn't exactly shatter the stone. They just drained people.
They stained the stone.
Yeah. Yep, that's the worst of it.
Because of other people, the stone looks like shit.
Yep,
That
gonna have
was
it all
the worst
replaced.
part about. That's why we had to really end them. They were making too much of a mess.
Correct.
I am going to take a walk around the ground floor and just kind of take note of everything that would need repair if we were to move in here, because it's not looking great.
Are you starting on the outside first?
Yeah, I'd walk the perimeter
Okay.
of the building and then hit inside.
Sure. As you walk the perimeter of the building and you take a look, it looks as if there's some kind of like light lean-to shack that's been built up that's very tall. It copses just over the top of it, and it appears that it has some kind of metallic barrel opening in the top that is emitting a foul, dark smoke.
This is up against the building?
Yes.
I'm gonna turn towards Cort and say, Cort, come here.
He's gonna walk over.
It seems we have some unwanted visitors. As I gesture towards the makeshift shack.
Cort's going to slowly pull out his sword. Like,
We don't need to kill them, but we should make sure that they find their own place and not on our property.
Cort is going to fully pull out his sword, and he's gonna hold it in two hands and he's gonna walk forward. I'm assuming, is it like a circle in which these things are laid out, or is it like, does it look like a fire pit kind of thing?
This is a small shed-like extension on the side. Most everything here appears to be crudely crafted, hastily put up, and it looks like it's been battened down, so nobody can really well enter, with an exception to the metallic door. It's very thin, bashed, cracked material. It looks like it was made out of lots and lots of destroyed armor. You can see some of the finer craftsmanship that was left on bits and pieces of it, but it's been crudely melted down in spots to make it work effectively like a door.
Going to lightly tap the tip of the sword against the door and kind of knock on it with the sword.
Okay. When you knock on the door itself with your sword, it's metal on metal, so it's even light. It's
Clank.
tang, tang, tang.
Yeah.
A moment will pass, and you'll see these very thick black fingers pull around the door itself and shift it to the side, much like a rolling stone. A figure stands in the door, roughly 12 to 14 feet tall. Flames tossle down his open chest and drape over his head. He has a skullet. His beard is also made entirely of flame. He's wearing the equivalent of a nightgown, but even it has bits of metal weaved into it. The darkened figure stares at you before at first rubbing his eyes. What did you come for?
We the Flurry own this establishment, and we aren't tolerable of squatters on our property.
I'm not a squatter. Speak with the skeleton.
He's going to put his sword back and just kind of look at him.
I don't believe anyone has told Thelsa about
No,
about this man.
definitely me not either. And you know that thing like when you walk into a cave and you see like a bear, and then you do that like you like slowly.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that situation of walking into a cave and a bear. I do that on the regular.
Every other Sunday.
You know, those Florida caves.
Yeah, look out for them. They're really rare, like the Florida hills.
It's the same cave, actually, that you keep walking into.
The bear's just like, God damn it, again!
Dude, it's the third time this week. Come on.
It just happens all the time.
Must be a map out there. He stands, waiting.
I'm not Sunn. Holy shit. Cort is going to, he's gonna kind of like slowly walk away, kind of while staring like.
We're gonna need to talk to Klaus about this. I don't. His kind aren't common here that I'm aware of.
This is a murder hut and a fire giant.
Are you okay? So, Cort said he backed away. Thelsa did not.
I would be.
So you're just like you're like looking at him like his.
Yeah, I don't want to break eye contact because I don't know.
Is not common here.
And then as I'm expecting Cort to say something, I look over and he's gone.
Yeah. You see him kind of like his face winces, and he kind of looks down at you.
What do you mean his card?
Giants with flaming hair aren't very common in Cauldron that I'm aware of, unless everyone's got a porch in their back of their house. I just don't know where you came from. I was anticipating some kind of makeshift goblin hut that like the epidemic we had a while ago with the goblins. I'm sorry for assuming. But why are you here?
I was told to make my forge here against the stone.
Why not inside, where it's I don't know, a little bit nicer?
I tried. Well inside, I found opposition.
Are they still in there?
I do not think they have left. If they have, they only leave when I sleep.
Okay. Know you anything of these creatures? What they look like?
They
Or
have
what they wear?
uncanny speed. They move as fast as I swing my hammer. One moved up my person, bit me.
He turns, and you can see raw, tepid flesh that seems to sizzle over his neck.
I crushed it.
These Thelsa was talked to about. And she's just gonna kind of well, an open stare for a second and like,
I find that I've been sick since the attack. My quality craft has not been as high. I was waiting for the proper owner to come clean up this hovel.
we will be cleaning it up shortly. We'll have to attend to the sickness that you have soon. We'll make sure of it. I'll just have to have a word with Klaus about some unwanted visitors and potentially a even larger problem.
He nods to you. You see that there are a few goats that seem to skulk out of his little hut that he's made, and they seem to kind of pluck away at the grass. He pulls down a few ringlets that attach to each of their horns. And he's going to leave the door open so that they can feed.
I'm just gonna head over to the front of the building a bit befuddled that there's a fire giant in our backyard.
Okay, all right.
Cort's gonna be sitting like outside the bathhouse waiting.
Do you know there's a fire giant?
Yeah, did you see that?
What the hell was that?
Wow. Huh.
We have.
Neat.
Once I reach Cort again, I'm saying, I don't know what I was expecting, but I assure you it wasn't this.
What, you didn't expect a blood-filled hobo hut fire giant bathhouse?
It's called a soup kitchen. Pretty rough stuff.
I had high hopes coming here. I'm now terrified of what a fire giant vampire is gonna be like. That doesn't sound like something I ever want to come face to face with, and I just came face to face with one. I'm worried. I don't know if vampire. I don't know how they transmit their vampirism, but I hope the flames burn it up and he doesn't become one of the. I don't know.
Are the good guys supposed to have vampire fire giants in blood?
I don't know, but I mean, if he turns out to be as fast and nimble as the little children are, then we've got issues.
How would Thelsa know about the little vampire children?
We talked about it.
Yeah.
Like, we've talked about the issues that we had in the town all together when we had just reached back after.
I don't
After
recall
the,
anybody bringing that up.
We did. Actually, it was Griffin that was talking about them, saying that there was things we had to take care of while we were back in town. Prior to us take care of. And that was one of them. And there were a couple more that I don't remember, but I remember that one because, you know, Joe was the start of it. He was my beloved camel.
Fucking Joe.
That's where it all started. Well,
Yeah.
I
technically,
can't believe
that was the next spot.
somewhere in the past 137 sessions we fought a vampire camel.
I fought a vampire camel. I killed a vampire camel.
Yeah,
Turned Jared into a monster that tried to kill Klaus. You ran away.
no,
I was holding my intestines in.
Yeah, Jacob was busy killing us.
Yeah, he turned
Jacob? Again?
That was a long time ago. Jacob was alive.
Yeah, you guys missed a vampire camel. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
Jared was busy disemboweling Klaus and it was moving on to me if I remember correctly.
Time to rewatch the episodes. Oh man, it. Yeah.
I think Cort's done. Cort's gonna wait for Klaus.
Yeah, I'm not going inside until we have our party gathered up. I know these kids have.
Hey,
been
that
causing
looks like a
terror
really
for some
comfy
time.
bench right there. Looks like it's not covered in blood, and there's not a fire giant on it.
I can sleep outside, and then when
Yup.
it becomes night, I can climb onto the roof and hope that none of them are there.
Yeah, I will wait.